CJ Solar is a singer-songwriter from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who loves country music. Grew up playing, really first love was like Southern rock, which to me is country music, but with a little heavy guitars. But that was kind of my favorite stuff, was Southern rock and country music. When I was in middle school, we took a trip up to Nashville, went to the Grand Ole Opry, and I saw Blake Shelton, Dierks Bentley, and Brad Paisley all play that night. And I remember watching those guys and going, that's what I want to do. So with the Louisiana influence to me on my music is like a soulfulness. Yeah, I feel like I have a little bit of that in my music. And some of my favorite people that I was listening to when I was growing up that were Louisiana, like honestly the biggest one was Mark Broussard, was one of my favorite. I mean, he's just like one of the best singers to me ever. So good. So he was a huge influence of mine. I feel like that real soulfulness that he has is something that I always felt very, had a Louisiana flair to it. When I'm playing a show, I'm really hoping people are paying attention, obviously, to like the lyrics, because I mean, we spend hours a day sitting in rooms really crafting these lyrics, and I know not everybody does, but I'm just trying to have people have a good time. Hopefully, the real fans really like appreciate the lyrics and melodies and all that cool stuff. But by and large, just trying to have a good time, and hopefully a few people are taking a little more than that. We normally try to start with an idea that just feels like relatable. I was writing with Randy Montana once, and we were kind of starting this idea, and he goes, "Yeah, but would anybody give a shit about this?" He was like, and honestly, that's something that I gauge every single song on. It's like that. I mean, we can write a song about that. Would anybody care? So that kind of was like a big like. I know I already kind of thought about that, but like just putting it that bluntly, it was just like, is this gonna touch somebody? Is somebody gonna, like, whether it's just a beer drinking song or whether it's something emotional, is somebody really gonna connect with that? Bob DiPiero is like one of my heroes, idols. He's in the Hall of Fame, just an amazing writer. And we wrote one together we write on a pretty regular basis, but we wrote one that's on a new record called Hell No, and it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. So he's definitely one of the most fun people that I get to write with, but it's hard to pick one. There's so many buds that I love to write with, but he's definitely near the top. Man, I don't know. I mean, like, I've written with so many of the Nashville people that I really love. Obviously, Bob's on that list. I got to write with Bob and Jeffrey Steele. When I moved to town, Jeffrey Steele was like at the top of my list because I went and saw him all the time. I mean, I'd go see all of his shows, and the way he plays and sings is like the way I kind of want to. I feel like when I saw him doing his thing, I was like, that's what I want to do. On the writer side, and especially because he just like belts every song and just like the emotions on 10 the whole time. So he was one of my favorite, and that was an amazing experience getting to write with him and Bob, especially because and him and Bob wrote "Go On" by Montgomery Gentry, which is like one of my favorite country songs of all time. Yeah, that was some bucket list stuff. I don't know. I mean, there's probably some like legendary guy, like obviously like Christopherson or something would be amazing to get to write with, but out of the guys that are really still doing it, I feel like I'm lucky to have gotten to write with and still write with some of the guys I really look up to. So my new EP is called Get Away With It, coming out April 13th. Super stoked. It's 5 songs. The lead single is a song called Airplane. It's out right now, and we're like top 40 Billboard indicator, which is really cool. We're in the 20s on the Music Row chart, so that's really cool. That there's a lot of stations around the country playing the song, and some really cool songs that I've written over the years. I mean, I've been at Seagull, which is the publishing company that I write for, where we're at right now, for a little over 4 years, which is kind of crazy. But I have my first EP, and then this is kind of my main thing, and then songs I've written for other people. So I got a lot of songs to choose from, but I feel like I really picked some cool tunes that people are gonna dig, and I feel like this project is kind of an evolution of my first one. still has a lot of that really cool, like, to me, angsty kind of like rock and rollness to it, but hitting on some new ground, and got a lot of, you know, touched a lot of different subjects. My first EP was like, I remember sending it to my parents for the first time, and they're like, yeah, this is cool, but it's like all heartbreak songs, you know. So I feel like I hit a lot of different things, and man, just a lot of touring. Really excited to see how people dig this new EP, and I don't know, I haven't mentioned it in the thing, but I've got a song that I wrote for Morgan Wallen called Up Down that's out right now, and that's climbing the charts. So excited to see, you know, how that song, you know, does.
It's huge right now.
Yeah, it's really fun getting to play that at all the shows and seeing just everybody, you know, doing all that stuff. So I've been fortunate. I feel like all the cuts I've gotten have been like really great sounding, and the artists, you know, kill them. So it's awesome to that one's, you know, on that list, and obviously it's a single and doing really well right now. So this is the first track off new EP, Get Away With It. It's called American Girls. Wrote this with two of my best buds, Michael Hardy and Jake Mitchell, and Michael Hobby from 1,000 Horses. So. Patagonia t-shirt, sitting on a pine levee, hair in a bun, iPhone playing Tom Petty. American Girls. Dancing on the bar, Las Vegas, yelling Roll Tide, whiskey in her hand, ain't bought one all night. American Girls. They know how to look like $1,000,000, sure look good riding around in a truck. Damn sure know how to break a heart. There ain't no stopping them once they start. Lord have mercy, God bless the USA. Make a boy say damn when he sees the way they be looking when they drive by, make you wanna give Uncle Sam a high five. Every pretty city thing, rocking them red high heels, to the Tony Lama babes in the headfields. Can't find them anywhere else in the world. Ain't nothing like American Girls. Us American boys, we just can't get enough. Chase them all around cause we love to love. American Girls. Go anywhere else, you know what you'll find. A bunch of fine looking things, but nothing quite alike. Unlike them American Girls. Lord have mercy, God bless the USA. Make a boy say damn when he sees the way they be looking when they drive by, make you wanna give Uncle Sam a high five. From every pretty city thing, rocking the red high heels, to the Tony Lama babes in the headfields. Can't find them anywhere else in the world. Ain't nothing like American Girls. Oh yeah, nothing like American Girls. Know how to look like $1,000,000, sure look good riding around in a truck. Damn sure know how to break a heart. There ain't no stopping them once they start. Lord have mercy, God bless the U.S.